Good afternoon. I want to first share with you some of the concepts that we've been working on in class so that you have an idea of how to complete or what your child is talking about when they mention terms such as number bonds. With a number bond, there are two parts. So these are the two parts, and then this is the whole. The example that I gave the kids in class was if I have 13 kids in my class, and this year we're divided into two classes or two parts. On Mondays and Thursdays, I have 5, and then on Tuesdays and Fridays, I have 8. So when I take my two parts, this part plus this part, it equals the whole. I'm going to go ahead and write those numbers in. So here's my Monday-Thursday group. I have 5 kids. And on Tuesday, Friday, I have 8 kids. So when we add 5 plus 8, we get 13. So each of the parts, when added together, always matches or always equals the whole. You will hear your child hopefully using the terms part, whole a lot. And you might hear it on Zern, or you might see it on the math module lessons that appear on your Seesaw. So one of the neat things about this, it also creates a fact family. So as I was explaining to the kids, if we take the 5 kids on Monday, Thursday, plus the 8 kids on Tuesday, Friday, if we add them together, we get a whole of 13. And we had a little bit of fun with this. So if I have my whole, my 13 kids, and I take away a part, I send a part home, then I still have the other part, that 8. So there's our first subtraction sentence. The whole minus one of the parts will equal the other part. Okay, so then if we could do it the other way, if I have all of my 13 kids and my 8 friends on Tuesday, Friday, aren't here, so we get rid of them, we take them away, I still have the 5 friends that come on Monday and Thursday. So I'm just going to go ahead and write down that fact family and show you what I'm talking about. Fact families have 2 addition problems, and the sum for each of them is going to be the whole. So my first addition sentence is 5 plus 8, and that equals 13. My second addition sentence is just the turnaround fact, and it's 8 plus 5. We modeled this with interlocking cubes the other day, and I demonstrated that for this example, it is 6 plus 4. I have 6 blue interlocking cubes plus 4 red. And if I turn them around completely, I didn't add any more interlocking cubes and I didn't take any away, so I still will have the same answer. So there are my 2 addition sentences, and my subtraction sentences always start with the whole and then you take away a part. So for the first one, I'm going to start with, of course, my whole, and I'm going to take away 8. And when I do that, I'm still left with 5. And then if I have my whole and I take away the 5, I'm still left with my 8. So one way to look at this, if we're looking to find the whole, we know if we add the part plus the part, it's going to equal the whole. Part plus part equals whole. But what about a number sentence that has something like this? 13 equals 8 plus blank. So we're missing the part. If we're missing a part, to find a part, you need to subtract. Okay? So if let's say we have 13 and we know that one part is 8, then the other part is 5. And to find that, we're taking that 8 away and seeing the 5. So if you're trying to find the whole, you're going to add. But if you're trying to find a part, you're going to subtract. Okay? So that's just a quick little synopsis on number bonds. So today I want to introduce quickly a concept called the say 10 way. And this is actually kind of silly, but we will be practicing it in class, and it helps to build number sense. So I'm just going to write the title of what we're doing, the say 10 way. And I'm going to show tens and ones as sticks and dots. So this is going to equal a 10, and this, a dot, will equal ones. Okay? So I'm going to show you a number with sticks and dots, and I'm going to explain or tell you how to say it the Say 10 way. So hopefully now I have all the kids on board. The number bond was a refresher for my second graders, but also to give parents a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about. So this is new content for the kids, so let's make sure they are in front of their screens and watching this video, please. Okay, so the Say 10 way. I'm going to draw one stick and 3 dots. When we're reading this the Say 10 way, it's going to say 1, 10, because that's how many 10s we have, and then 3. And that's it. Not 1, 10, 3 ones, not anything other than 1, 10, 3. So when we see 1, 10, 3, we know that that is equal to 13. Okay? So I'm going to do a couple more. How about this one? Remembering that the sticks are 10s and the dots are 1s. I'm going to give you a minute to think about that before I give you the answer. Because if I give you the answer right off, it turns off your brain and you stop thinking. And I want you to have as many experiences as you can to grow that fantastic elastic brain. So this picture, the Say 10 way, would be 3, 10, because we have 3 10s and 2 1s, 2, right? So 3, 10, 2. Again, it's not 3 10s, 2 1s, it's 3, 10, 2. And when you see 3, 10, 2, you know the value is 32. Okay, let's do one more. Again, I'm going to give you a minute or so, probably less than that, to see if you can figure out how to say this number the Say 10 way. Remember, you're looking at the number of 10s and the number of 1s. Okay, so when I count the 10s, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll write 5, 10, and now I need to count the 1s. One thing that, friends, you're going to learn about me is that I love to arrange things in 5 groups. So I already know that I made this a 5 group. So I've got 5, 6, 7. So this number, the Say 10 way, is 5, 10, 7. And it is, oops, I put a box around the wrong thing. The number is 57. Okay, so we will be working more on the Say 10 way when you physically come back to class. The next thing I want to show you is something really, really cool. I think it's pretty exciting. So I'm going to start with, let's see. I'm going to show you a number under the document camera. And I bet you know this number. It's 67. And if I were going to say it the Say 10 way, it would be 6, 10, 7. Now what I want to show you is if 67 were my whole, and I wanted to know, if let's say this were my whole, and I knew one of my parts was 60 in a number bond, I need to figure out what that other part is. And watch this. You're going to love it. Okay? These are hide 0 cards, and this 7 is hiding a 0. Boop. Cool, huh? So these end up being my 2 parts. 60, and then 7 makes a whole of 67. Bet you want to see that again with a different number. I know that I do. So my next one, let's see. Let's do 38. 38. And again, the Say 10 way, it's 3, 10, 8, correct? All right. So now I want to know, I'm going to pull out the 30. So this is my number bond, this is my whole, if I were to tell you that one part is 30, what is the other part? Let me draw that other circle. If I slide my 8 away, what do I have? I have 30 and 8. So my other part is 8. 30 plus 8 equals 38. So there's my whole. So we're going to do this a couple more times, and this time I'm going to give you a number sentence, and we're going to practice putting those together, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. All right, how about, I'll give you a tough one. 90 plus 5. And I want you to think about those hide 0 cards. Remember, what was covering that 0? The 5. Check it out. Okay, see, look at this. 90 plus 5 is 95, and all we did was take the 5 and hide the 0. Okay? Hide the 0, so it's 95. Okay, let's see. Oh, I have a great one now. How about this? 40 plus what will give me 46? Okay? I have a 0 here, don't I? The 4s are the same, and I think that this 6 is going to cover that 0. So let's try that. That might not make much sense right there. I'm not sure it does. So here's my 46. This is the number I'm looking for. Here it is. There's the 40, and here's the 6. So 6 is the number that fits in that blank. Hide 0 cards. Hide 0. It's pretty cool. Trying to find a different, okay. Ooh, how about this one? 50 plus 2. Okay, so I'm going to take, if I have a 0 here, like I do, right? I have that 0. I'm going to take the 2 and I'm going to cover it. So my answer is 52. And in case you don't believe me, I'll try it with my hide 0 cards because they never fib. There's our 52, 50 plus 2. And again, all we're doing is taking the number that we're adding and hiding the 0. Your assignment is going to ask you to do that, friends. So you need to be able to do that. Now, the very last thing that I want you to do, or that I want to talk to you about today for math, is what do we need to add to a number to get to the next 10? That's what we're going to do right now. And I'm just looking for these cards that I had here. Remember, we had the 10 frame cards. Okay, so let's start simple. I'm going to show you 8, and I want to know what do I need to add to 8 to get 10. Okay? Think about that for just a second. What do I need to add to 8 to get 10? Well, here's our place value, our 10 frame. And because it's called a 10 frame, we know that there are 10 available spots for black circles. When I count, Mrs. Strader likes 5 groups, so I know I've got 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the 8. How many more of these spots do I need to fill to make 10? Well, 1, 2, right? So I'm asking you to make a connection to these 10 frames. We're going to try another one. You're going to think it's trickier, but I promise you it's not. How about this? 18 plus what will get me to the next 10, which is going to be 20. Okay? Now let's see. Give you a chance to think about that. And I can put my 10 frame in any direction. This is what you have, friends. You have 18. Here's one full 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. How many more do I need to fill to get to 20? Well, of course, the answer is 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to try it without using the 10 frame. 48 plus what will get me to the next 10, which is 50. So let's pretend that we have 4 of these 10 frames full. Okay, we have 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 40, 45, 46, 47, 48. What do I need to add to the 48 to get 50? Why, of course, 2. Notice that we were focusing on these 2 numbers to make this a 0. These 2 numbers to make that a 10. These 2 numbers to make this a 10. Okay, so let's see. We'll do it. We'll just try a different set of numbers just so I can continue to prove my point. That it's easy, guys. You can do this. All right, this time, how about I have 4? So my number is 4. What do I need to add to 4 to get 10? I'm going to give you a chance to think about that. Remember that number bond? This is what we want to find out. When we need to know a part, remember we're going to subtract 10 minus 4. You also might remember me asking you to put the 4 in your head and count up to 10. I'm going to come over here and show that so you can see me. So I've taught you to put 4 in your head, and then we're going to keep counting until we get to 10. So ready? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what did we add to the 4 to get 10? You're right, 6. Okay, now I'm going to add some more 10s to this. How about 24? What do I need to add to 24 to get to the next 10, which is going to be 30, 3 10s? Give you a chance to think about it. Here's my full 10 frame. We're going to count this twice. 10, 20, see? 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. How many spaces can I fill to get to 30? Well, let's see. Here's 5, and 1 more is 6. So again, we're looking at these 2 numbers to get to 10. These 2 numbers to get to the next 10, which in this case is 30. Let's try 74 plus what will get me to my next 10. If we're at 70, my next 10 is going to be 80. I'm going to give you a chance to think about that. All right, let's pretend we have 7 of these, and we're going to count them by 10s. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. How many do we need to fill to get to 80? Remember, we're at 74. I bet many of you already realize that it's 6. Again, this 4 plus 6 is going to make that 10 and make that an 80. So we're going to come back here, we're going to backtrack a little bit. Let's take a look at this one. Remember how I said we're going to take the 4 and the 6 to make the 10? I'm going to write a 10 here because when I add 4 plus 6, I get 10, don't I? Now, this 2 is the same thing as 2 10s, or 20. So now I'm going to add 10 plus 20, and that gives me 30. Try this one. 4 plus 6, well, we know that's 10, but I still have 70 here. Not 7, but 70. So 10 plus 70 equals, you know it, 80. So this week, we're going to be doing some more exploration with numbers. We're going to be focusing on those number bonds. We're going to be paying attention to what we need to add to a number to get it to the next 10. And we will be talking about the say 10 way. So if you have to refer back to this video, I think it's a great idea. Hopefully this helps you out with your math. And this is today's math lesson just to watch and hopefully do some thinking.